Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. Today, we have a great portal open. No, don't be disappointed that I didn't leave anything for you to participate in this portal. My brothers, I already told you, look for other channels. There are many serious channels that are doing a great job. I don't want anyone restricted to just this channel because I asked for it. It's your heart that speaks, but it has very good channels, and you've certainly found something to enjoy on this portal. Think about this, what is a portal? It is a communication between this world, this dimension, and the higher dimensions. Imagine, today, what this portal would be like. How would you imagine a completely round planet? What would it be like to open up to this portal? And what does this portal mean? Let's imagine that the planet has a layer that surrounds it in the third dimension, because you are in it. Remember, I already said that planets have layers and the fifth dimensional layer of this planet exists because it was once there. So this layer is above what you see, above what you live. All beings of light that are here around your planet are in this layer of the fifth dimension, because there they look good, they resonate perfectly with the frequencies that are there. No, there are not beings of even higher dimensions, yes they exist, but the fifth dimension is pleasant for them, they do not suffer, nor do they have to make much effort to remain in the fifth dimension. So when we tell you, today there is a great portal, what happens? You know that here in the third dimension you have an energy frequency that corresponds to this dimension, and precisely with it there is this whole frequency of low vibrational feelings, which are the feelings that nourish the third dimension. It is the feelings that keep the third dimension stronger and stronger, because the lower you vibrate, the more this dimension strengthens. Yes, that's exactly it. So when we say, keep your vibrations high, vibrate light, it is so that you can begin to break this force of the third dimension itself. Start emanating a lot of light, and as you are already evolved souls, the light you emit is much stronger than those beings who are exclusively here on Tercera. They also emit light, but at a lower intensity, due to the evolution of the soul itself. So you, who are already evolved souls, can emanate more light. And this takes away the strength of this dimension in which you live, even though you think everything is getting worse and worse. If everything were really worse, I don't know what your world would be like. You can see that little Gaia storms are happening throughout the planet. This is all being controlled, from your energy. So think about this, you need to do some things, Gaia needs to act on some points, but she has been quite controlled in the things she provokes, because if she were to actually cause something, with the energy that was on her planet, many would have already left, trams wouldn't be able to carry so many people. So, my brothers, do not interpret that your actions are in vain, because you see the world in the same way, you see the world through your small optics. Start seeing the world from a broader perspective, start to see the world from Gaia's perspective, and you will notice that a lot is happening, but nothing of great proportions. So you are managing to control Gaia. Gaia is feeling loved, Gaia is feeling respected, so she hasn't been acting so angry, she's been well controlled. So back to the subject of portals. What do these portals do to the planet? As I said, you have an atmosphere, let's say, of energy that contains the third dimension. So when these small portals open, I'm going to say holes so you understand, but of course that's not how it happens, but it is as if they were small holes that open up on the outside of this ball that limits the third dimension. Of course there is no ball, I'm just trying to show you what happens. There is a delimitation, how it is or ceases to be is not important, the important thing is that the third dimension is limited, because there are frequencies inside there that vibrate at a certain speed, everything there vibrates at a certain frequency. Externally from there, another dimension begins, which vibrates at another frequency. So it's as if they were worlds within worlds. So when these portals happen, these holes are opened. No, don't think that the energy of the third contaminates the fifth, on the contrary. Think about this, the larger the dimension, the higher the frequency, the greater the strength of the energy, so when these holes open, it is not the energy of the third that leaks into the energy of the fifth, it's the opposite, it is all this fifth dimensional energy, which starts to act within this third dimensional field. Doing what? Bringing more light, bringing more positive energy, that is, increasing the energies of your planet more and more. It's like, let's put it very easily. You have a ball that is your third dimension, and you are inside it. Let's say above your planet has several layers. Let's give an example, I really like examples, so you understand what I mean. Within this layer of the third dimension, you have sublayers. So, let's say that the closest to the planet, you have a frequency value of 0, which is Gaia's soil, let's put it that way. And then you live on a frequency of 10. It doesn't matter the unit, I'm not worried about physics. The total frequency of the third dimension varies from 0 to 100. So this large ball of the third dimension that surrounds the planet has the value 100, and it is subdivided into 10 layers. So each layer has a value of 10. So today you are living, a hypothesis, in the first layer. There down there. There, a large portal opens. When this portal opens, these layers practically dissolve, they cease to exist temporarily, and then a lot of energy enters, a lot of energy, a lot of energy, a lot of energy. When the portal closes, these layers rearrange themselves, and that quantum of energy that entered will determine which layer you will be contained in. For example, I said that you were in the layer that had the value 10, and then a lot of energy entered. A lot, a lot, a lot, which raised the frequency of this vibration, of this dimension that you are in, to 30. So what happened? The second layer has disappeared and you now live within a layer of 30. You have evolved. Ah, but the world remains the same. Yes, you are still in the third dimension, but the frequencies have gone up. This is what we call frequency octaves. You went up an octave, or 2 octaves, in this case, there were 2 because you went from 10 to 30, and remember that each one was worth 10. So this is what happens when these portals open. A lot of energy enters and is absorbed by this layer of the third dimension, and it determines how many octaves you go up. Of course, nothing is that simple, but I want to explain to you what happens. When we talk about a dimension, it is not completely equal, it has layers, in which the whole rises over time. This is where it allows you to evolve. You don't jump from Thursday to Friday all at once, you jump octaves, you go up slowly, but as a whole. We are talking about the planet here. Then you rise as a whole. And what is happening to Gaia? Each portal that opens, more energy enters, and you gain a few more octaves. You are rising, even though apparently everything is the same, nothing has changed, everything is the same way, in the same way, nothing has changed. No, yes it has changed. But you don't see it, and then where does this reflect? It reflects exactly on Gaia, and it also reflects on you, because more dirt comes out. I already told you it's as if you were a body, come on, you are a body and there is a balloon around you, so you are several little balloons walking around the planet. Every energy that arrives squeezes this balloon. What's inside this balloon? There are all those feelings that you have to deal with, all those feelings you have to face head on, that you have to resolve. So every time energy comes in you are pressed against the wall, so that these feelings come out, and they all come right in your face. And then you have to live with them, until they are completely released. So you are literally being squeezed against the wall, so that all the dirt that is inside comes out, all the filth that is in your hearts and in your minds and in your soul, come out. And then what happens? You also go up small octaves, every step you take towards the fifth dimension is an octave you move up. You are also moving up in these octaves. It's my brothers, nothing stands still, this is what we want you to understand, is not stopped. Things are happening, just not physically. But you realize, you feel, that you are changing a lot, because you are reaching higher octaves. So my brothers, do not be discouraged. Don't think that we are talking to deceive you, to deceive you. Ah, they're saying that to keep us in line. No, 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 because we know what's going on, and with each portal you go up a little more. This will allow you to move to the fifth, naturally, without major energetic modifications when you reach the last octave of the third dimension. That's what you're doing. You are climbing steps. It's as if you are climbing a mountain. What happens to climbers? With every meter they climb, the more difficulty they have breathing, and then they need time to adapt to that air. And then they walk a little further. But they adapt. It's difficult but they adapt. And so it is with you, with every octave you move up, more problems appear for you to deal with. Excellent. And then you do all that cleaning, and it goes up a little more, until you reach the top of the mountain, where it will be very difficult for you to bear it. Because you will already be on the final stretch, to reach the top of the mountain, the top of the third dimension. So my brothers, don't think that nothing is happening. Everything is happening, and with each portal, more energy is coming in and more octaves you are rising. That's what I've been telling you, time is passing. Each day is one day less. It all depends on your vibration. If those whose mission is to emanate light and be pillars fulfill their mission, you will evolve from one day to the next. Now, as long as you don't vibrate enough to get to the last step, the path continues. Do you understand now when I say that there will be a deadline? The deadline is when you are all in the last octave, when you all reach this maximum third dimensional frequency and are ready to evolve. This is the deadline, which you can reach at any time. Any time. Now there is a time when the energies will reach the planet in such a way that they will elevate you in an abrupt way, whether you are ready or not. And you elevated, you will evolve. So realize that your work is very important, because you are pulling the entire planet, you are helping Gaia to rise in the octaves, and getting closer and closer to the last one, the one that is the limit of the third dimension. So my brothers, do not be discouraged, continue the journey and get stronger, because you are part of this process. Anyone who resonates with all that is being said is part of this process, and it is you who are evolving the planet. Before anyone is out there thinking, ah, so we are one of the 144,000. My brothers, you are billions. Let's do some math, you are billions. Each of these 144,000 would need to be a giant of light, seen from anywhere in the universe, to generate the energy necessary to ascend Gaia. Yes, the 144,000 are on the planet, ready to act at the right time. But it's not just them, it's not just them. They won't be able to do it alone. So you are part of this large group, you may have one of the 144,000 among you, I'm not saying no. The vast majority of you are not. You are part of a large group, which, let's say, will be the second layer after them, and a very extensive layer, as everything on the planet is involved, not just you, just here, in this group, on this channel. I have channels all over the world. I have channelers all over the world, and these words are being spoken all over the world. The world, as you understand planet Earth. So my brothers, do your parts, fulfill their roles, those roles you placed yourself in when you incarnated, in this era, that you said to the Karmic Council, I want to participate in this process, I want to be a pillar of light. Very good. So be pillars of light. Solve your problems, raise your vibrations, prepare more every day, because you don't know how much is left for this last octave of the third dimension. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So my brothers, come on, let's do each of your part. We will continue to emanate light, helping Gaia to rise higher and higher, and you also climb higher and higher, in the octaves. And then the process accelerates and everything happens quickly. Things don't happen, because we haven't found, how shall I say, the right environment for them to happen yet. Our idea is not to cause chaos, because it will no longer be easy, and if we do it in a way that creates chaos, we will lose all credibility. So we have to do everything with great caution, a lot of love, very calmly, without the despair that you have. You want everything to happen soon, the results don't matter. And we think exactly the opposite, we think about the results before doing it, because they are the ones who will give us the support for you to evolve, so that we can do what needs to be done for you to evolve. That's why so much caution, that's why it takes so long for things to happen. So my brothers, we are getting closer and closer to the big day. Each day is one day less. But things don't depend on us, depend on you, depend on the energy you are emanating. Because it will be you who will hold the entire process when it begins. You cannot be afraid. You have to trust everything we say, they cannot be afraid, they cannot be suspicious, they have to believe without seeing, no evidence, just believe what resonates in your hearts. Only that. Keep believing in what we are saying, and you will certainly not regret it. Don't worry, those who didn't do anything about this portal, because you received the energies. It's not something you choose. I will receive or I will not receive the energy of the portal. There's no choice. Everyone receives, and you have received a great charge of energy today, and they continue to receive, because the portal takes a while to close. It's not something that opens quickly and closes quickly. It has been opening up for a few days now, reaching its peak today. So it takes a while to close too. And you will continue to receive these energies. So don't worry about not having done your own ritual to receive this. There's no problem, because you received your quantum of energy, and if you are prepared, you will certainly evolve a little, a small octave on your journey, on that mountain you are climbing. So my brothers, faith, trust, strength, light, love, that's all you have to emanate. Leave the rest aside, do not struggle with what is happening in your world, ignore, not that I'm saying that you have to ignore each other's suffering, that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you to ignore the provocations, those things that come from your world exactly to throw you off balance, to rock you, to lower the vibrations you have already achieved. This you have to ignore. Listen, but don't listen. If you hear something, and you realize that it didn't do you any good, emanate, I am light. I am light. He finished. You have raised your vibration again, and it went away, in the middle of his words it went away. Start practicing this. Every time you feel shaken by some subject, some event, repeat this phrase 3 times, I am light. If you get into this habit, you will see that, little by little, your own body and mind will automatically start to ignore some things. People will talk next to you and you will say okay, and it will not shake you, you will pass by. So my brothers, enjoy the energy. Do your meditations. Connect with Gaia, connect with the energy that is coming. Let it flow through your body and balance with Gaia's energy. You will feel the size of the vibration that will pass through your bodies. It's immense. So enjoy. Do this experience. Sit and connect with Gaia and the light energies that are arriving, and you will feel your body vibrate. And this is very good, because as the energy flows through your body, it takes away everything bad that may be there. See yourself breathing this light, and when you exhale see a large dark smoke coming out of your body, releasing everything that is not good, and that is stagnant inside. Breathe energy my brothers, breathe light, emanate energy, emanate light. And the walk continues. I am Archangel Michael. I am here, ready, to help each of you climb this mountain. When you experience difficulty, call me, and always see me one step above, offering you a hand, so that you can climb safely.